See if we can do that. Scooch all of this over. No sawdust in my red rock. Ginger ale. It's ugly. Put it in there. Carter says, hey, what's up, bro? You're a mod on my channel now. I didn't even know you weren't. Okay. So we'll go ahead and pull these. And we'll put these back, or else I'll be aggravated with them later. Really only needed one anyway. We all knew that. This mallet is not looking great yet, but soon I hope. Soon I hope. Gotta figure out a little semicircle on one side. I gotta figure out a big circle on the other. I think this is gonna be the bottom side facing me. That'll be the bottom. This will be the top. Because that'll probably be the easier way to cut those by using the flatter surface for my bottom. Smallwood Lot says, have I tried making Lincoln's Impossible mallet yet? I have not. I have not. Probably because I'm not good enough to do that. I've seen it once. Maybe twice. Thought it was cool. But as I understand it, it's incredibly weak and impractical. Which is just kind of not necessarily my thing. So how do we make this? Have you made one of those? Because if you have, I am impressed already. So I need to put a need an angle on this thing. Let's see if I can find something round. Something fairly wide. This may be too no good. But I did not dislike the look of that though. It's just kind of a secondary. Let's not get too far. I did kind of like that look though. I think I need something more bucket size. I'm gonna try this bucket. It's still way too big. I'm gonna just make myself a random design here. Hope for the best. So I did that. I put that little curve on it. I'm gonna send that back. I'm gonna hit that curve on each side again with that bucket, because that's the point of contact, right? And hopefully I can duplicate that on this side. We'll make it a mark here, mark here. Approximate, right? Now, I think a good angle on this would be maybe right there. Might not be bad. Now, just gonna duplicate that on this side. One way to do that is just to measure here. And so that would be our mark, right? So then I just put that there. That would be my start. Put this up top. And from there, boom, I got what? Half inch. So I go up here. Boom, go over a half inch. And then I should have the same angle. That's gonna be this mouth. Now, I think I do have to figure out what this angle is too. Don't know. Getting nervous. All right, I think we're gonna go over to the chop saw, get some of this knocked down, and then we'll go over to the sanding block, knock the rest. Ugh. Let's see if we got power. Felt like power to me. Now, we're going to adjust our angle to the cut that we're after. I'm going to eyeball that. That's going to be more or less, right? And we're going to cut this super slow. Super slow. heat up and start wobbling. When it get hot, they'll warp and wobble a little bit. But if we avoid that, we can get a really clean cut out of this blade. Here we go. Not bad, not bad. Hit the other side. All right. Here we go. Another good cut. Looks like a pair of eyes. Yeah. All right. Mallet head. Getting there. Getting there. Now we got to get this bottom curve out. That's going to be fun. I'm going to need a mask for it though. MJB, what up? Well, Rami, how you doing? Good evening, Wes. Hope all is well with you and yours. Me and mine are superb. I hope the same for you. I'm gonna grab me a mask. Let me breathe. Whew. Better. All right. Speaking of not being able to breathe, let's get set for this saw over here. Well, not saw, but you know what I'm saying. Sanding doohickey. Let's get this set up. I brought it over here so y'all can be not so far away. I am, however, tripping on everything. Mallet, where are you? Oh, right here. Right here. So we got a little chip right here. We can't do anything about it except for trim it down when it's time. We'll do that with the bevel and all of that stuff. We got to get this cleaned up. We're going to just get us a nice little round over here. We're going to flatten it first. And then we'll get ambitious and see if we can get that arch or something like it. So we'll see what it does. Let me grab, yeah, let's just go. That didn't like that. So I'm gonna have to put this into something a little more direct. Give me 1 second while I shift power sources. Ugh. And then a little bit of that. Here we go. Not shabby. Not shabby, not shabby, not shabby. Dusty in here, but we got something. Nice contour. I can work all these edges and stuff out a little bit later, but right now it's nice, I think. So far, that's a good top. You can't see that seam, can you? Yeah, it is though. Alright, let's see. Got this handle to also deal with a wheelbarrow hot rod. What's up, Smoke? Flossie, hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing? Last adventure we were getting fancy with the hammer handle a little bit. So let me put these away for a second. Place can't afford to be any more messy. So we took this gauged wire and we basically dug a groove around this handle that we made from a branch that we found, well, cut in my front yard. So we got to try to make that look like something. First I got to cut this edge off, get rid of that extra. Thought I had something for that. I may not. What I may have to do is just fake it until I make it fit. Copper soft and fiber hard. Bada boom, bada bang. All right. Now, in the name of that very thing, I wonder if we can just grind that down over there on that thing again. And maybe, yeah, maybe that'll be what we need to get that embedded. You can see how far out it's sticking, but it is in there. So if we can just grind it down to what's in there at that edge, it might be good. If not, we fail. Boo! We get booed out of YouTube University. We'll lose our scholarships. Who knows what problems come. All right, let's try it. Let's see if this. New water. This metal is hot right away. That's going to be a problem if I got to keep grinding down. So, I wonder if we do some of that by hand ahead of time. And then just kind of hit the very absolute most necessary parts. You know what I'm saying? That might make a little more sense. It might be a little less dramatic though. But when we get to the end of it, we're gonna have to go over there. But meanwhile, we can knock off tons of this with this thing. I think I'm gonna find that I could have used like half the copper. In theory, so far, I kind of like this approach. It's still crazy hot, so that concerns me a little bit, but not a lot. Let's work this side here. It's starting to shape. Definitely losing that profile. I don't know if this is official woodworkers union techniques or proper usage of the tooling. Ask Wes, I think he used epoxy to make sawdust rings. I didn't. Let me check this chat out real quick. I apologize, you guys. I'm going to pause and take the chat out real quick. Let's see what we're talking about. Smoke says I'm save a lot of money with a wheelbarrow. Model T's. I don't know, you're going to spend some gas though. Otherwise, epoxy for the win. Plus that metal moves. Anybody ever use epoxy on a puzzle? Does it work well? I have not. I'm super novice on epoxy. general. I've done some experiments with it. Just as many failed as succeeded. Depending on how you look at it, you know, glass half full and all that. That's not going to be bad. That might even be good. I think this file was a better idea. I think it's a little slower for sure, but I think safer and eventually better. Smoke says, what's the beverage? That is Red Rock Golden Ginger Ale. Delicioso. I know I'm boring. Smoke says, P.S. the size need turquoise inlay now. I'm telling you. Listen, I tell people all the time. Anytime people try to do one part of a bathroom renovation at a time, yeah, oh, I just want to do the shower. Immediately everything else looks terrible and dated and old. Things that were perfectly fine before, they got something gorgeous in there next to it. Now, I wonder how much of this should be sandpaper and the like. Let's see. Because I don't mind this being raised a little bit. I don't mind that a whole lot. I don't want to make it so thin that it ain't in there, you know what I mean? Or get it too hot. So, let's see what some 80 grit will do. handle. We almost got it together. Almost. I'm really curious what this is going to look like once we get the linseed oil on it. Kind of curious about a stain for this too. To have something a little heavier than 80. I think this is rough stuff. And the coloration is just the wood itself. There's no aren't stains, aren't glue spots. It's just the wood itself. It's fooling me a little bit. I do want to put enough hit on this copper that it polishes up nice. And I am going to put it on this machine on quick time right here just to get that roundness off of there. I know I can do it that way, probably the fastest. Let me get my little eraser. Burned it a little bit, but that ain't exactly ugly. It burned it a little bit, but I ain't exactly mad at it. And this metal is hot right now. All right, so that's what we got so far. It's a decent little polish on it. I'm gonna hit this back side here, soften that up a little bit. And it buffed that coloration right out. Cheap way to get a nice little inlay, I think. Might be nice. Still got some glue in there. Let's get our chisel and get that out. Okay. So what's going to happen is that curvature is going to come into play from here. So we got to get down to it so we can follow it with our handle. But hopefully we don't get it stuck. I think we just go down with it. Get rid of these little registration marks. Add some new ones if we need them. And we'll see about putting a bevel on this. See if we're going to do anything about that handle curvature. I guess we got it, right? A lot of effort just to leave something weird at the end, you know what I'm saying? What I can't say is I like it. It's nice and heavy. This could definitely be a dead blow mallet. Could also be a framing mallet. Like, but that's the curvature issue I mean. So I'm just gonna take our pencil and trace that so that we can get it off. All right, we'll go ahead and pull this off. Don't look at me while I do this. Turn your faces. Maybe it's in there. I usually don't like to hit on anything glued up for at least a day. Okay. We gotta mark the sides. X side, X side. That way we'll make sure we put it back in the same place. We're gonna take this. We're gonna make these cuts on that. I think we're gonna try that on the belt sander though. I think that's just the kind of thing this thing maybe can do. Perfect. Woo. Let's see if that works. Well, we know it cut it. Let's see if we got the proper curvature. So it's X side, X side. Now, something's holding it back right there. It's close. A little piece right there needs to go. Just a little bit. I think the rest is okay. So we got this little corner here. This little wood just loves to be cut. You can hear how dense it is. Let's see. I definitely could use a little stropping right now. All right, let's see if we took off an appropriate amount or a quality fit. Clean it up, of course. I appreciate those 35 likes. 35 of your mamas raised you right. All right. Let's see. X side, and this always amazes me that this happens this way. I never expect the physics to work out. But this ain't too bad. It's not too bad a fit. Good feeling mallet though. I wonder how I was gonna take the linseed oil. And what am I gonna do about a wedge up here? I was thinking I might just send a wedge down front, down back. Just two little slender wedges. You know what I mean? Smack them down and tap them down. Maybe some walnut. Because I just don't want to split this wood. I'm being completely truthful about the matter. I don't. But I don't mind opening up the mouth of this to accept the left and right. Maybe I shouldn't have said that way. But you know what I mean. So I'm going to just clean up a little bit of that. been a long day for this chisel. I'm gonna go grab him a replacement. Maybe two. Freshly sharpened. Let's see. I have to sand all that out. All right. Where can we find movable wedge scraps? Perfect. How do we get that into a wedge? First we snap it in half. It'll be a little more accurate. And we wedgeify it, obviously. That'll work. I don't think we have room for 2 wedges. I'm gonna do a single wedge right there on that spot. Let's find the X sides. That's an X side. That's the X side. These two fit much easier now that they've been gouged. I'm gonna use this wedge I made 5 seconds ago. And we're gonna force that in, tap it down, glue it on the way down, and that's gonna be that. I am happy with this. I'm gonna cut that off. Yes, I can do this other ways. This is the best way for you to see it too. Groove. I think I got crickets in my saw. Perfect. I'm gonna put a little on it. My saw cut a little deep, so I gotta cut that off. getting cleaner. This is not the case for the air quality, however. Sneezing while on the pot put me out of commission for a month 2 years ago. Out of commission from what? Like, what could you no longer do? That's the question that the people want to know. Smoke. Not bad. Threw my back out. Holy smoke. That's no fun. That's no fun. Back problems are the worst problems, man. You got a back problem, you ain't got no other problems. Just that. Nothing else you can think about. Make sure we got power so we don't poop out on you. This is one of those where the beauty is in the detail of this one. And the beauty of it not having a lot of detail. It's got a lot of specifics. But the design itself is about as simple as you get. I think this one, it's all going to be about cleanliness. With the execution of the idea. Right now I'm just putting a little chamfer on everything. Just to keep those edges unsharp. Unsplintery. Just running the closest thing I can do to a 45 freehand with this 80 grit. I'm mostly judging the depth by eye. Plus it says I'm a big baby if my tooth hurts. You ain't lying. Whew. They say tooth pain It's akin on the scale of childbirth. They say that's the closest thing men can imagine. I had a tooth. I had to get pulled once. It was awful. All right. It's a weird thing this phone does. This makes the screen really hard to see. But look, it's an actual mallet made out of the branch from a front yard and some butcher block I already had on deck. I'm gonna clean this off real quick. We'll give it a quick 220 sand after that. And then we'll see what the linseed oil does to this. Looks good to me so far. Feel like we need a little quick sand right there though. Still got some glue worked in right there. That's gonna be important to get out for our visuals. That's why it's important to clean it up just to get to all the details. So everything's nice and visible. Now, I'm gonna move this to a 120, 220. Then we'll be ready for some sort of finish. We're just gonna clean up on the detail stuff. Grid. This is a 220. Go over it all again. This should be sort of the final of the shaping with the 220. Obviously, it's a more subtle, but it's what's going to soften everything, make it look a little bit more official dizzle. Nice small bevels. Still allow for it to look nice and crispy on the edges. You knew where I was going. You knew what I was getting ready to do. I'm gonna have to keep this on my lap so I don't get all this sawdust on it from everything. Then I'm gonna get this oil on here. Probably could have gloved up before I did this. But if was a fifth, you'd all be drawn. Alright, we're gonna start with the top. Get the head of this. Taking pretty good. Lighter woods are not quite as drastically transformed. But every now and then, get a nice little surprise. And you get some depth. Hold tight. Just feel like I'm gonna need more oil for this one. Now it starts to get rich. And now that grain starts to show up. Let's see what happens with the handle here. This will be somewhat of a first. and just getting nice and rich. Now all that wood, all these little wormholes, everything starts working for us now. You get to see all of that cool depth. I don't know about you, but for me, it's the handle. Let that soak in real well. We'll do this a couple of times. But I think it's working out. Hey, New Beginnings, how you doing? Didn't see you in here. TJ, what's going on? I think this is a white oak here up top from the butcher board that I still had from years ago. And this handle is a hickory from my front yard. It was one of these yesterday, bark and all, and now it's this. And this is pretty comfortable. My God. Like, that's gonna be a good mallet. That's gonna be a good working mallet. Plenty hard. I'm good with the fire, I just don't understand. It don't matter. I'm not saying you couldn't have them, just don't. Oh, that's funny. So this thing, just kicked over my boiled linseed oil. Arrgh. So, easy answer for that is just to put a rag down, let it soak it up. Then you have to make sure that rag's somewhere where it cannot combust and create a problem. For me, that's my fireplace. But this mallet turned out pretty cool, I think. Real comfortable. Unique handle, we learned something. We worked on the old sander over there. So, I think despite my linseed oil malfunction, I think it turned out good. I think we got a good thing today. Built something fun. Flossie says, dang, that's super nice. Thank you. Eco Wood Crafts, how you doing? Well, go ahead and fix me a plate. I could go for a plate right now too. Hook me up. It's like 9:30. There's still time. I'm gonna go check with my wife though. See if there's time for me to get out of here. I might come back depending on what you guys are doing. But I really like the way that that copper worked out inside of that handle. Feels good, feels sturdy right now. Doesn't bother my grip at all. You can feel it though. I think all in all, for what we had to work with, we ended up with something cool. Looks wonderful, Wes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you can barely hear me because I talk low. I don't have a microphone on. I got that stuff out in the car. Well, in But good to know. Next time I'll hook it up. Make sure you can hear me okay. It changes on every time. Oh, you talking about chili still. Right on. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody who did hang out with me. I appreciate everybody who did hit that like button. It's not too late. You can do it. There's 200 of you in here. If that thing go to 100, I'll be really, really excited, but that's probably not going to happen. But for the 53 that I have, thank you so much. And for everybody who came in here and watched, hung out with me, wow, we made this. Like, that was plenty payoff enough. I am really excited that I was able to do that. I think maybe at some point, maybe I'll make an axe handle. Maybe not for this axe. This has got a great handle. But, you know, who knows? This thing was fun. I used this to chop up and get my basic shape. And then, of course, I used the split shave. And I almost spilled my ginger ale. Let me get that out of here. And I'll see y'all on the next adventures of Waste Dozen.